the people.
I need to get a mustache comb.
Mustache what?
He's got an afro comb for his beard.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, we're live, it says.
Oh, by the way, we're live. I just thought
Glad we opened with that.
Okay, now.
Oh, it just caught you said it.
Yeah, thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Seriously, man.
What does it say?
This is how you introduce me to your UK audience.
Should I do the intro then?
Go on, teacher.
I'll do it. I'll take the lead this week. Welcome everyone to the Super Awesome Vape Show, episode 98.
Wow.
98 episodes. Can you believe it?
No.
And there's a cat hair floating around in front of my face. We are live, only 17 minutes late. Who had 17 minutes? You win the pot. Congratulations. Hashtag Jay's fault. It's that London apartment, man. You really just don't want to do anything. You want to just sit on the couch and be lazy. I get
Chill
it.
out.
Just relax, all cushy. Yeah. So we are live with a good friend of ours, Mr. Vapor Swaggins. Welcome.
Who's the dude with the
Hello.
fake tash? Freddie Mercury.
Best
This is
mustache.
glued on. This is that industrial train glue.
He got it out of a Christmas cracker, didn't he? You remember?
He's got the two bits up his nose.
That's why we were late, guys. They asked me late. You know, it was spring forward, right? So they asked me late, last minute to come on. I was honored, but I told them I had to get my mustache right, and so it took about 17 minutes. I apologize.
Yep. That's it. So welcome Vapor Swaggins to the show. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. And it's spring forward here, so we're an hour ahead. Now we're only 4 hours behind you guys, so it's a little late afternoon for us. But yeah, thank you Swaggins for coming on last minute. I appreciate that. We are missing obviously two panel members. We have Mike's Mext and Vaping with Mo Bro, both trolling us in chat right now. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for at least doing that, I suppose.
Mate, do not let me get the ban hammer out because I will ban them.
Oh my god. All right, wait. He's John donated 20 knock.
Who's
He said,
Kelvin?
What's up, Kelvin and crew? Who plays Kelvin this week? Is it still Jay?
No.
Still Jay, I think.
Oh, fuck off, mate.
It's still Jay. I think it's still Jay.
Oh.
Did you just go like that?
On that note, I'll give everyone a
I'll buy
shout
that for
out
$1.
here. I'll try my best at getting everyone a shout out. We've got Chris Earl in chat, Mike's Mex Reviews, one of our fellow panelists. We've got Dr. Thing, Vaping with Mobro again. Yeah, there we are. Little Bro Vapes. Hey, Aiden. We've got Ronster Campbell, Danny Thompson, Horsham Heating. I hope I pronounced that right. Stuart Luchwager. I hope I pronounced that right. Mr. Vaping with Vic. My channel is finally back. Himself is here as well. Thanks for being here, Vic. Just at least for the trolling. We've got LJ McCutcheon. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm horrible with names. Vaping Pasty. I remembered that one from last time. You guys made fun of me just relentlessly. Let's see. We've got Beer Weasel is in here as well. That sounds like Mobro's alter ego, Beer Weasel. Gaily Bops, we've got Emily K. Hello. We have, let's see, Ian Morey is here as well. UK Andy made it just in time for the show. And let's
Well,
see.
his train was 15 minutes late, wasn't it?
We have, just in time, you know, if you guys get here 10 minutes late, you didn't miss anything, at least. So Dion78 is here. Dan Demure as well. This motherfucker here is here. We've got Stuart in chat, as well as Stephen James, Graham Spears, or Spires. I don't know. So again, I'm just going to murder pronunciations. Swaggins, Mr. Moustache is here as well. We've got... I think that's about it. John Lean, of course, Mr. 20 Knock himself. Appreciate that. Chris Earl, and I think that's about it, guys. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. We're going to have some fun. And with that, my job is done here. So who's got the first buffet? Let's start with Jay. Or not.
Tendon is frozen.
Dickhead.
The only problem is when your eyes are going from side to side like that.
Man, you couldn't see my eyes because I was down like that. So I am on Pachamama, Icy Mango, whoop, and that is in my Aegis Boost, and I have got some. Who's this? This is a collaboration with Big Tasty Cola Lime Pod Salt Infusion in my Caliban. That's it. Take it away, Swags.
Oh shit! All right. First of all, thank you to chat for every iconic mustache reference from the last 30 years.
Mate, the best one that I just see just now was, "Excuse me, ladies. I think his Tash wants to meet your gash."
That's why I said mustache rides 5 pounds for 5 minutes.
Ooh.
Ride me like.
Speaking of mustache rides, this is Mako V2 Squonker by Mako with the Wicked on top, single coil single sided little flavor addy. And I got what do I have in there? I think I have one of these two juices.
Well, it's always one of those two, so yeah.
Yeah. Which are delicious. They come pre-nicked over here in free America. Right? What?
Go ahead.
And then and then I got a couple of these Smock Novo 2s. These are really what I've been vaping on. I started a new job. And this is what gets me through the day. So those have like 12 milligram. I have 12 milligram straight jacket by 5150. It's a really complicated flavor profile that's kind of gross. So don't even ask me about it. Really, it's not worth talking about. It's actually one of my favorites. And then the other one is a Nick Salt. It's a 60 milligram. It tastes like purple bubble gum. Grape bubble gum.
Purple bubble gum?
That's
flavor.
Yeah, purple. Purple's always the same flavor, man. It's always grape, and I always don't like it. Mixed berry. It still tastes like purple bubble gum.
Grape, boys. It's very hard to get a decent grape, isn't it? He normally comes across really chemically, doesn't it?
Medicines, man. Medicines ruined me. Like, it's like, oh, we made these medicines taste more child appealing, so kids will eat them, right? Like Dimetap and Robitussin and all this shit.
Yeah,
well, regardless, so for us,
Calpol.
Yeah. CalMag and FloraBloom, nutrients we also give to marijuana. Yeah, that's how we grow our children, people. Anyways, grape and cherry have been ruined because they were medicines growing up, so I can't do any of them anymore. It's not even the juice's fault. It's my upbringing. And I'm going to pass it on off to you, Daily Vape TV.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna ask real quick if Aiden or Jay ever had fluoride when you were in school. Did they make you take the fluoride and swish it? No.
We have fluoride in water.
Oh,
yeah.
Naturally occurring.
Yeah.
It's not naturally occurring. They actually put it into water.
Yeah, it's
right.
It's better than the Americans and formaldehyde.
How do you figure?
Formaldehyde and all
They
that
also
shit.
have a whole town named after baths.
Yeah.
Bath.
Yeah. So my buffet, real quick, before we get into other conversation, I have this guy right here. Yeah, been rocking a stack lately.
What have you been rocking?
The Arcless stacked with the Turk V2 on top. It's black, so you can't really see it. I know.
That's huge, son. That's not vaping.
Oh, it's great, man. I miss the clouds. Honestly, I miss the clouds because I don't really use my big mods anymore. I've been doing like a lot of mouth to lung reviews and little tiny devices. I'm just like, man, I need to break myself out of this funk. How can I do that? Well, a couple of 0.35 aliens on there, a couple of 30 Ts inside the tube, and you got yourself a nice cloudy setup. Just insta clouds. So there's that. And I also have this one, the little Blazar or Blazer or whatever you want to call it.
Blazar.
Focus hand is not going to work apparently. So whatever, you get the picture. I reviewed this one not too long ago, and I'm still using it. I've got a single little for British eyes only coil in here, a mouth to lung frame staple, which is really impressive. Gotta love that. So there's that, and in both of them, I've got this. This is 12 Monkeys Origins Shoku. I think that's how you pronounce that. Again, I am just terrible with pronunciations today. And this I picked up in England, so it doesn't have nicotine in it. But I also didn't fill it up to the top with PG, so it's like really over flavored, but I don't mind. It tastes really good. But with that being said, I'm thinking about going back to vaping nicotine. We'll talk about
noise?
That, I'm sure. But I don't know. We'll talk about it in a minute. I'm going to pass it on over to Little Bro Vapes.
Apparently we've got some sort of strange whooshing noise.
Hold on.
I've not heard any whooshing noise. Well, how can I hear it? Because I'm not playing it.
Yeah, it sounds like someone's doing their laundry.
First of all, lads, I'm on the Guinness, which is always nice. I'm not on the vodka, so it's going to be a straight stream. I'm on the new from Vaporesso, the Target PM80. Quite like this. Really nice 0.2 ohm coil and also a 0.3 ohm coil. Really nice flavour from this. I like the design. It's the first sort of ones I've had. I never had any of these smart ones or Vupu. And in that, I've got some cheap ass classic experiment. There we go. Some cheap.
Yeah, it sounds like someone's doing their laundry.
I'm on the Guinness. I think it was £10 for 100 ml of it with 2 mix shots. Then I've got the from Vaporesso. This is the 2-in-1 where you can have it as a swamp mod or you can have it just like the solo. On top of that, I've got the Falcon King tank. In that, with flavourings, obviously you're not going to be able to have that in America. I'm joking. It started off with having Nick in it, didn't it? And this is Kiki Karkanula from King Kong Juice. This is a key lime pie. Really, really nice.
Right, wait there. Shh.
From Vaporesso, this is the 2-in-1 where you can have it as a swamp mod or you can have it just like the solo. On top of that, I've got the Falcon King tank. In that, with flavourings, obviously you're not going to be able to have that in America. I'm joking. It started off with having Nick in it.
Well, the square seems to be around Nick. Oh, no, it don't. Then it changed. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Right, 1 minute. Let me see if I can change something.
Are we allowed to talk now?
Yeah, carry on. They might not hear you when I change the settings around, but yeah, carry on.
All right, we'll just go with it. So Swaggins. Oh, there he is. So there's basically no rules on this show. Just don't show any paraphernalia, but we can talk about whatever we want. Have you been on before?
I can't show any vaping stuff. We just went through our.
No. Shed
Oh.
time stuff.
Ah.
Are we allowed to talk now?
I haven't been on the show. I'm a long time watcher, first time
around, but yeah, carry
Oh
on.
man,
special guest.
We should have had you on a long time ago, man. So you're a good fit for this crew.
Thanks. Well, that's why I always hang out in the
there
chat.
it is.
I love
So
the shenanigans.
there's
So thanks for having me.
basically no
Hey,
rules
man.
on
I
this
just
show.
woke up.
Just don't show any paraphernalia, but we can. I know this time change has definitely got me thrown off too. Technically, I was up until 4:30 in the morning. Have you been on before?
I can't show any vaping stuff. We just
I
went
did a
through
lot
our-
of
dabs yesterday.
No. Shed time stuff.
Yes. I thought he was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat.
Yeah,
on the
carry
show.
on. You
I'm
might
a
as
long
well-
time
why the
watcher,
Bulls?
first
When I
time
change the settings
just
around, but yeah.
thing in
Oh,
the
that's a fucking target.
on a long time ago, man.
Kind of looks like an alien
You're a good
butthole,
fit for
or
this crew.
maybe an orangutan's
Well, that's
butthole.
why I
always hang out in the chat.
Depends which way you look at it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I just woke up.
I saw Aiden, your video on what was this time change Facebook or something. You posted a video of you DJing 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we were. I went back to the Urban. I normally do
Yeah,
weddings.
I did a lot of dabs
I went back
yesterday.
to the Urban, which is more like a nightclubby thing, and it was like the transition
Yes.
period. So we played a little bit of
Chicago
Northern
Bulls
Soul.
hat.
So it was a bit of a giggle. I'd had a couple of beers by then and all.
I could tell. can always tell when you have a few. I know when you have a few too many as well now, because you turn bright red like a freaking beet.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's your age. You know, when you've been drinking all this time, it just start making you have a blue nose and your face goes really red. Obviously, it's really good at Christmas because I get a really good job, but
Oh, Jay, now they're saying an echo.
Yeah.
What?
It should be all good now.
To be honest with you, a couple of shows that have been on YouTube have been getting echoes. I don't know if it's something to do with the actual platform itself or what. Is everybody just listening for echoes now?
Well, now I'm hearing a TV, and I'm like, whose TV is it?
No, that sounds fine to me. And stream, it's hard to tell, but nah.
I was reading. I love this chat. I love reading what people have to say. Anyways, you Brits have a great sense of humor. I appreciate it. I'm on the East Coast where all life and happiness is drained and sucked away to the West because of seasons. So we're very close in our manners and deadpan comedy, just dry comedy, dry humor. And so Stuart kills me with this one. He says, "Holy crap, I'm dyslexic. But why is Swaggins wearing an Xmas cap? Is it Christmas?" And I was like reading it, and then I looked up in my hat, and I was like, let me move the letters around.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love the chat is almost more entertaining than the show these days. Not saying we're not funny or entertaining or anything, but just the chat is just off the chain. Anyways, but whatever. So what were we talking about before the show that we were like mentioning? We're like, oh, we should talk about that on the show.
It was on about the changing of the clocks.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, it's now we're only 4 hours behind you instead of 5, and apparently that doesn't change until the very end of the month. So we might have a few weeks where I get to play games a little bit later on in the morning before I have to jump into Zoom over here.
Well, like we said, it was done more for the farmers. That's what it was for. And then they sort of kept it on for the kids going to school. So they did it so they wasn't going to school and coming home in the dark. That's the reason.
That's exactly why we did it. But now it's like, it's really the opposite because kids are going to school in the dark and coming home in the dark. Because it's like it's dark earlier, and then it's also dark around 4 o'clock anyways, so it doesn't really matter. You guys are just looking to get a little more sleep.
My daughter's high school, they call it now. Again, they took a lot from you in America. We always used to have a comprehensive school, but now they call it high school, and they have academies, which we never had that before. Because they basically run as a business. That's what they do. They run.
Yes, that's exactly what education is. It's a freaking business.
It never used to be like that here.
They're just using taxpayer money. Like they use town money, but it's a business. They run it like a business, and their product is kids, so they want them to matriculate. So that's why so I worked in education before I moved over into cannabis. I didn't usually want to talk about that, but I don't really give a fuck now because I work in cannabis. But I worked in education, and it's a business. You're pumping out these kids, and you're seeing kids they're disserviced, because we're based on a model of, we tell everybody they got to go to college. Like college is the only way. And I agree. College is a step up. It's like, it is your keys, it's like, it's a ladder. And if you want to be able to be better positioned on that ladder, you get the education, unless you go into a trade school. The problem is that we're not outfitting these kids properly. It's like they're just in this business model. They're pumping them out into the next business that actually takes their money and their parents' money, etc., which is broken. But we should be sending kids out.
Okay, what you did was you went for the first maybe 4 or 5 years in senior school, and then you went to sixth form. Or you could then go to college, or you could then look to maybe go to university afterwards, where now they've made it, or at 16, if you had a job, your dad used to get you a job where he worked or wherever you went into work, where now there's something happening. You have to stay in education up until I think it's 18 now. Again, it's all to do with money.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys changed over.
One big thing that you said there, which was massive here in the UK, was that we had apprenticeships. So people, if they wanted to be an electrician or a plumber and stuff like that, they could go into them, and they stopped them.
That's stupid, man. So that's like, you guys used to be, so you moved more towards a liberal arts model like us, which it's fine, but it shouldn't be the status quo, because what I liked about your model going back, was the fact that when you went to college, if you went to college, you were focused on whatever you went to college for. You're an engineer. You're not doing biology. You're not doing, English composition. You're going there to be a mechanical structural engineer, and you focus on that, and then you come out a really great, at younger. It's like, now it's like they just want the model to go further, and you've seen our culture kind of get stymied because of that, because you have kids now spending 5 more years getting educated and having no fucking specialized skills when they come out. Then you have to get a master's degree if you really want to specialize, so you really have no specialty people, and so you have old people keeping jobs later. Yeah, this is clearly a big problem. Let's solve it. Let's solve it right now.
A lot to do with the education system, though. What I feel, especially in the UK here, is a lot of people aren't going to be using square roots, and they're not going to be using this sort of stuff. A child should be able to come out of school being able to spell, have proper grammar. These should be the major things. Doing mathematics, percentages, all the other bits that you should be able to do. They don't have to necessarily do square roots and all the algebra and all that. I think they should maybe slim that down a little bit. And then when
to
that
financing, why don't they change
Yeah,
it? Like,
exactly.
you're right. Make a financing course.
Fuck yeah.
And anything that falls in line with financing, you teach that shit. Otherwise,
and that can sort of come off when they've gone into sixth form. So people who need A's, B's, and C's, to get into colleges and stuff like that, if they're not the, and then you get another bracket as well in that. So there's other people who are not academic when they're writing it down, but if you show them something, they can do it. So this needs to be like honed. You need to be able to take these people and put them into where they need to be. Who, when they're 16, knows exactly what they want to be? Not many people.
Not me.
Dude, I didn't know what I wanted to be until like a month ago when I started growing weed for a living.
I want to be a dealer.
Legally.
Right. Well, that's kind of a new thing that you haven't really talked about too much in any other show or any format, because I know Stan doesn't like anyone talking about it. Jay, you on the phone?
He's ordering a pizza.
What are you, Chris Tucker? You're talking to Jet like in the bloopers at the end of a what is the movie with Jackie Chan?
He doesn't know how to use his own mute button either.
Shooting a movie right now. Turn your phone off.
He wanted some wood chip, wallpaper.
He hasn't done anything in a while, so he didn't realize. But yeah, this is a new thing for you, and I'm excited for you because it's a new thing for this whole state, really. I mean, the cannabis industry in Massachusetts is blooming right now.
Yeah, it's 3 years old.
It's a really cool thing to kind of do for you, man. Like, I know you're interested in it. You have been for a while, and like now you get to do it for work.
Yeah, so, man. I was an enthusiast.
I haven't heard you talk about this at all, so I wanted you to embellish a little bit. Like, you work for a grower?
Rush Hour. That's right. This motherfucker right here. Yeah. So I work for a company, a corporate company. So corporate cannabis, because that's what you're seeing as you see more states become legal. And you'll see even more of it when it becomes federally legal and you can have interstate, sale and movement of product. Otherwise, right now, the model is that, companies are buying up in different states so they can have a presence and exist in different states. But I work for a corporate cannabis and I see it as harm reduction, so I basically took the inspiration of really getting involved. I've been vaping for 6 years, going on 6 years. And so that kind of, and then getting involved in the vaping community over the last couple of years, really with Vapor Swaggins and this whole brand. I've really kind of jumped on that harm reduction mentality. And so, yeah, this is a new job field. And there's money there for sure and opportunity for success, but it's really more that the fact that I like coming back into marijuana or cannabis and seeing that opportunity was there and that there's harm reduction and there's a huge opioid crisis in the United States. I'm not sure if you guys know about that. I'm sure you do. But it's really bad. And so I'm like, all right, well, if we have an opportunity to have something available that can get people off of, you know, opioids, etc. This is obviously like some idealistic branch of why I'm doing this, but it's cannabis, man. And so I'm like just embracing the fact that this is a thing and this is the time that we live in. And I'm super stoked, man. Super
And
stoked about it.
another thing is you're speaking on harm reduction. Is like the blooming cannabis industry kind of created another harm reduction product, I guess, which is the oils and stuff like that.
The actual fallout from the States because of it is caused a lot of shit all over the world.
Right. So, but my point being is that the oils and waxes and shatter and all that stuff is technically harm reduction because you're not actually smoking anything.
Right, you're vaporizing. Well, you can also vaporize flower. And the thing is yeah, even though technically burning, you know, combusting marijuana isn't as harmful as a cigarette because of what happens during combustion and how chemicals change into other chemicals, etc., and the biomarkers for cancer that are in the chemicals that are in a cigarette, you're still combusting, you're still making tar. So it's still not optimal, but you can optimize that even further by vaporizing it. And there are methods for that, which is really cool too. So it's just, I prefer to get people on the leaf and off the synthetic, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, there's so many things out there, and I know synthetic weed in the UK is an issue.
Yeah, you're on about spice.
Yeah.
That is a massive pandemic here for people who sat down.
You guys aren't legal, are you?
No.
Yeah, well, it was legal for quite a while, but then they stopped it. Basically, you're getting people who are dealing it. You can get it for like a $5, whatever, and it's so cheap. And then they go into like a zombie state after a little tiny bit, and the trousers are falling down, and they're in the most ridiculous positions you can ever get. They're like crunched down, touching the toes, you know, like falling over, but they stay up. I couldn't even be like that for like 3 seconds. I'd be over. But they seem to be like that for 10 minutes. Hunched over. Crazy. It looks, honestly, you can see where a zombie I can't even say it. Zombie
apocalypse.
Yeah, but like, why are we doing synthetic THC shit? There's plenty. You just grow the shit, you know, grow it, press it, get some resin out of it, put it in a nice little package and give it to people.
It's because of the stigma. There's still a stigma. It's over 100-year-old stigma.
Of course.
Of what cannabis is.
Yeah, your brain's going to have holes in it. You're going to be a dum-dum. Well, I'll tell you what. I got a master's in education, and I smoke weed, and I talk really well, and I write really well.
Really well. That well put.
Hey, I'll play to the crowd.
You're eloquent. Yes.
I've got to sit down there and sit on the fence to it. I think it's the same as alcohol. If you drink too much alcohol, it's obviously going to affect you, and it's the same with marijuana. If you smoke too much of it, it is going to cause different things.
Right. Moderation, you know, dosing is a thing, and we can talk about that. Well, think about just alcohol in the context of the UK and how it's in the home, you know, it's in a safe place for when the kids are young, and it's not like stigmatized, right? It's not like a block on it. You're like, oh shit, at this point, boom, we're going to get hammered now because we couldn't drink before and fuck our parents and society. That's how it is in the US, right? And so moderation is like, you guys moderate it. And so by the time you're 18, you're legal, whatever. By the time you're 21, it's just it's a casual thing anyways for you guys. It's a cultural thing. So you don't take it for granted. So you kind of dose. A lot of you may be functional alcoholics, but alcoholism isn't as debilitating as it is at the get-go, you know, when you have a society that embraces it more as a cultural thing, as opposed to like, it's a stigma. All right, you can do it now, but society says you're a degenerate if you do it. Similar thing with marijuana. You know, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people that are associated with it because it's been a black market illegal thing for so long. And obviously it only, you know, kind of people that are shitty gravitate towards that type of work. Right. But if you have Starbucks, you know, on every corner, right? Imagine a Starbucks in every corner, but instead it's called like Star Buds, you know, now it's everywhere. And this is where you go to get your your coffee and your weed for the day, and you microdose. It's now in society.
Actual effects of marijuana. Obviously, they've got different effects to like alcohol. You know, like alcohol, you find a lot of people that get very aggressive, and obviously they come a little bit madder. They do stuff that they probably not normally do if they hadn't been drinking. Now with marijuana, obviously you get the forgetfulness. Shit, where did I put my lighter? You've also got see, it's happening again. No, I'm joking. You get the forgetfulness, you get the munchies. You also get the calmness of where you sat down there on the settee, you don't want to move, you don't want to get out of your house, you don't want to go anywhere. And
so so for a little knowledge, a little bud knowledge 101 real quick. Basically, strain to strain, you're going to get different profiles per bud that you get, right? We have names for some of them. You might hear like AK-47 or Lemon OG or Kush or something like that. And so basically these are strains and genetics, and based on those genetics and strains, you can bring them into two trees, the indica and the sativa, and then there's a hybrid, you know, that Venn diagram where you have the crossover where you have a little bit of each. And so basically indicas are more of a heavily medicated, and sativas are more of a high in the mind kind of. People can get a lot more anxious on a sativa than they do on an indica, but indicas can make you a lot more tired and fall asleep and logy and lethargic. So you can find in hybrids and hybridizing these two dominants that you can get the perfect amount. Then you have the difference between vaping it, smoking it, and ingesting it. You know, and the effects those have. So there's a lot of like,
you see a lot of years ago, you didn't really have these strains,
right?
Weed.
Yeah,
you didn't have these strains. You used to have resin.
Yeah,
your soap bars, your squidgy blacks, your red seals. You had all the bits like that. Where nowadays that you've got these people who are doing the hybrids, which are making a lot of people like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing too. You're not going to OD on pot. You might just go for a ride and just have to. A lot of it too is like, it's your own mind state. You know, if you're going to be smoking weed and stuff like that, and it's legal, obviously, I'm not condoning it. If it's illegal, are you watching?
Fucking hell, your mustache moves as well.
I can make a mustache smile. I'll show you that later.
It's only one side though. You know, you've got that little cut in the middle and you wink on that side and then just one side goes up and the other one stays.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, that's weird, right? It should be thick in the center. Like, why is there's two wings? I could fly away with this motherfucker.
It's an handlebar.
No, it's because like Mike said, the middle bit fell down.
Yeah. To here. And then grew out because it had more space.
Nick's got bogies.
What? Speaking of forgetting things, when you go off track, you're going to forget things. But regardless, it's a thing. It's a cultural thing. People will realize more often that it's not as crazy. I literally didn't smoke for like 10, 12 years. And I came back and you had all these things that you could do, all these different strains and types. And I'm only so invested in it and know so much is because I work in it. Otherwise, I was just an enthusiast like you, like anybody here. And I was just like, whatever makes me high, I'll take that one. Now I just know all this shit because I have to.
I mean, I don't partake typically. I will when I'm amongst friends, but I can't be like a functional pothead like some people. Like, I will just get couch locked or take a nap or eat everything, drink everything around me. So I'll do it every once in a blue moon. But I kind of like knowing that if I wanted to, I could, you know, like if I wanted to go out and just buy a pre-roll, I could do that.
You can. And you don't have to feel like a criminal for doing it. Like, I can sit in here and, you know, take a hit of something and just be like, I just wanted to relax. I was stressed out from my day at work and I didn't feel like drinking. I honestly haven't had, I used to love scotch and whiskey. I still do, Japanese whiskeys. I haven't had a drop to drink since I started. It's almost like a vape and smoke story. Not that I needed to get away from alcohol. I do have alcoholism in my family, but it's like, I just prefer this over the alternative. Think about this though, Nick, and anybody here. You're saying how like you smoke every now and then, you don't, because you know you're going to get locked, you're going to have the munchies. That's because you don't have a tolerance. Think about it like you don't drink for a long time and then you decide to go to a party to drink and you get fucking blasted, right? Because your tolerance is gone.
But that's the way to do it, isn't it?
I You could be a seasoned smoker, you're still going to get the munchies, and if you smoke enough, you're still going to get locked on that settee.
No, depending, because honestly, some spectrums you don't get the munchies. You just don't. It's like and by munchies, we're saying if you eat dinner, that doesn't mean you're having the munchies. It's like, oh, I smoked weed, now I'm eating dinner. Oh, I have the fucking munchies.
Yeah,
no, you're just
like somebody just have a Big Mac. You end up going to get 14 Big Macs.
Yeah, if that's the munchies. That's the munchies. Yes.
Packet of fucking Cheetos or whatnot.
So it's a regular Friday night for Jay.
You ate 14 cheeseburgers? What the fuck?
Shut up, you dickhead.
Obviously, I don't.
What a mug.
But years and years ago, I did. Yeah, man, it's it. And also the paranoia. The paranoia does sit in.
Yeah. It's everybody's own spiritual journey. Think about this. I used to get super paranoid too. And I'm not trying to be the soapbox guy for, hey, come smoke pot. But it's like, I'm just trying to break some of the stigmas that people that, you're going to do your own thing. And just because it's legal doesn't mean you have to go do it again. But I just want people to realize that instead of taking a Percocet to relax, because that's just something that you've had available to you and works, that you could take a drag off of a doobie and you could have that relaxation, that anxiety could go away. We're moving there towards the science. There's going to come a day where you're going to be able to look somewhere or go into a dispensary and say, I need something that's absolutely not going to give me the munchies or anxiety. And they'll be able to give you something on that color spectrum. That'll be like, you need something in this blue spectrum here. Here you go. You're good to go.
The best part about the legalization, in my opinion, is more knowledge of the product itself. I have never known so much about cannabis as I do now, not only because I kind of have to know a little bit for my job, even though we don't sell pipes or anything like that, but we do sell a couple of vaporizers, and it's good to know the basics and stuff. But it's also kind of the general public knowledge that you can go into a dispensary and have a chat with them and basically just get the knowledge that you're looking for. So if you have a specific thing that you're looking to do, then they can give you whatever you are looking for. And that's especially true with medical patients, because there's people out there with scripts for marijuana, and they could just go in tax-free, skip the line, and get their prescriptions, if they have stomach issues, Crohn's disease, stuff like that. You have, people that are looking to calm their stomach because they're on medication that causes their stomach to be all messed up. And
it was given to a lot of people with AIDS as well, because the people who had AIDS, the drugs that were given stopped them from wanting to eat. So they used to give them that as well to make them to give a bit of appetite.
I'll tell you what. So basically, this is why I'll break it down for you a little bit further and just a little taste. But now we're looking at the genetics of strains and of THC, and you have different strains of THC within different types of, we'll say cannabis bud, where you have THCA, you have THCV, for instance. THCV is seen as something where if you have a strain with that in it, it has actually been seen to curb appetite. So you see people taking the THCV genetics out and putting that into supplements to help people to diet better or to not have an appetite, as opposed to being hunger versus appetite, that whole argument, when you're trying to shrink a stomach. Because I've done it. I mean, shit, I did it without a supplement, but I just intermittent fasting. And so I didn't have to go to the gym. I could just maintain weight, but I had to not enjoy food anymore. So there's a sacrifice for everything. But yeah, there are genetics within there that can go against what the normal thinking is, where it's you're gonna be stupid, dumb. And if you want to get dumb high, do it, because that's no stress, no worry. That's what people want to do. It's I don't want to worry about the alimony. I don't want to worry about the bills that I have coming in. I don't want to worry about the job that I have to go to on Monday. It's I just want to drain it all out. Do that. Don't pop pills,
Mike also brings up a good point. He says, used to love a doobie, just can't have it with my job. If I get caught with anything like that in my bloodstream, then bye-bye license and job.
Yeah,
now
if you have a CDL and shit, yeah.
The same is true still with Massachusetts and any state that's legal, as far as I know, that you can't drive a vehicle while stoned. You can't get a prescription for cannabis if you have a CDL and blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of caveats to these rules. However, one of the major ones, well, here you go for you guys in in the UK, you cannot get a gun permit if you have a medical marijuana permit, and vice versa.
Wow.
So
Really?
you can either smoke weed or get your guns, but you can't have both.
Oh shit! I have a license to carry concealed, and I'm now licensed to work as an agent in grow facilities and stuff for marijuana.
But I think it's only medical though.
Okay, so I can't get my medical card. All right.
But you can still buy it recreationally, which doesn't make any sense. But I think it also, if you're caught with it and you have your license to carry, then they could take that away from you.
That's what's different. All right, it doesn't make. I mean, not sorry. Let me rephrase. It doesn't bother me because guess what? It's just so similar to like you don't want to be high and have a gun on you. Just the same as you don't go to a bar or drink with your piece on you. I mean, you do. If you do, you're doing it knowing that you can't get caught. But it's like I'm not, even though I have a license to carry and I can carry in a bar if I went bar hopping still at this time of my life. You don't do that because you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get fucked. Similarly with marijuana and carrying a piece, anything that's a drug, even prescription drugs, I assume you'd be in trouble if you were carrying your piece and you had prescription mind altering drugs on you.
Well, it's a federal law still, that it's illegal. So it's a federal matter rather than a state matter. But in any case, it doesn't matter. So this show is basically turned into Cannabis Cast.
Yeah, I just jumped on that train. Sorry.
Jay, do you have any input? No, you're just muting yourself the whole show.
I don't know. Is the buzzing gone?
I don't know. No one said anything in a while.
Or whatever it is. Fuck knows.
Could have been. I was gonna say it could have been that your gain was set too high. If you have it set in your Windows settings, you can adjust the gain there. If you had that setting too high, or you're just on your mic, I don't know. Just guessing.
I don't know.
I know nothing about Windows yet.
Hey,
because Mr. Swag,
Chris,
he had to get them Swaggins forced me to buy a PC, so now I'm
forced to.
I'm live on a PC now instead of my Mac. My Mac is still right here, but yeah, I got my PC.
I'll tell you what, Zach, your camera's absolutely corking, mate. What are you using?
Thank you. I'm using the Sony A5100. This camera is 6 years old at this point, but it is, after copious amounts of research and seeing the comparables, it is the best bang for buck. Like for under just 500 American. When you were
showing you're up and close, mate. Absolutely corking.
That's Sony though. The Sony is known for its autofocus engine and drivers. It's like its software is next to like Mike Vapes has a much more expensive one of these, but even I have highlight right now because it's the sun setting, but even in low light, it does a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, Mike's is really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's like
laser
on another level when it comes down to reviewing.
But if you're looking at like a budget friendly purchase versus, $2,000 plus worth of equipment, this is like sub $500 American for a kit lens and the body of the camera, and the screen flips up all the way.
No chance on that in this house. We're on the C920, a Logitech, son. It's lovely. Look at that. Look at
Dude,
that.
honestly, I did this. Yeah, the C920 I still have mine right here. I used this thing for 6 years. Same one, too.
I think the standard on review is, isn't it? The C920.
Because it revolutionized access for quality. You get 1080p recording and 720p streaming. Most people don't realize it's like standard def is 720. 1080p is actually Blu-ray, so you get Blu-ray quality through streaming and shit like that if you have the ability to do that. But most people are okay with, and most times you don't realize it, but even television is 720. So most of what you're doing is like industry standard, if not better. So people don't even realize, so you're making great quality off of something really inexpensive, like $50.
Yeah, so
I wish if I could just get a handle on manual settings for this thing, because like one of the cool things about Streamlabs OBS is you can control your camera like a lot if you go into the properties. So in OBS Streamlabs OBS, my camera looks really, really nice, and it doesn't like do this whole like ooh bright dark thing, you know, when I do that. But
yeah, but that's because you've got. Are you using a C920 now?
no, I have the Logitech Brio.
Well, the problem what you've probably got is you know when you go into your settings, you've still got it on auto. That's why it changes. So if you take the auto off, it doesn't change.
Where do you even find these settings?
It's got to be in the Logitech software.
Yeah, the Logitech gaming software.
What, the capture software?
I don't use the gaming software. I use the old one because it when it first come out, it was just so much simpler because you've got the exposure, the gain, and the brightness all in like one place. You set the auto off of it. The gaming one, I haven't really got on with.
Yeah, the gaming one will just basically, it's like a hub, and it'll detect the Logitech devices you have connected, and you can click on them. It's in essence the same thing, but with a few more.
Still doesn't allow you to do manual settings though.
Of course it
Well,
does.
Not Logitech Capture. I already.
No, not Capture. Logitech. I'll tell you what it is. It's Logitech G Hub.
Yeah, the gaming hub.
Nick, I'll send you over the one that I've got, and I'll tell you now, it's a lot simpler.
I thought you were in a hotel room.
Oh, that's weird.
It's come out from behind the curtain.
So, Zach, obviously, I watch you on Vaping Stew. How did you start getting into reviewing and bits that you do? When did you first start? How did you start vaping?
Yeah, that's a lot. So we'll start with, I never reviewed. I've done a few videos. I did my Would You Look at That series, which are all less than a minute long, mostly between 15 to 19 seconds, but some of them around 44 if I get really into the music that I have, because I would live mix all those. I wouldn't edit anything after the fact. It was all about making quick, efficient, silly content, because the only real reason why I made videos was in reaction to China or with Tofo not wanting to send me a product from Joel, who at the time was on our show, wanted to send me because they're like, he's not a reviewer. And so I was like, they want a fucking reviewer. Here's some fucking videos for you. So I threw up some Would You Look at That, where I just show it off and say, would you look at that? But otherwise, I got on the stew just from being a part of the Vape Stew community, building up the Discord, being a part of that, hanging out. We created Vaping with the Omies, which was a stewed show that we did. And then they pulled me up to the big leagues, and now I can't leave. Stan won't let me. And that's that. 6 years of vaping. I started vaping in 2014, and it was shittier back then.
Yeah, well, yeah. You want to go back to 2006 when I started?
No, because I tried starting in 2011, and the blue e-cigarette was awful. I would rather smoke donkey shit than that fucking e-cigarette.
I started in 2011, and let me tell you, we didn't have much back then. My first e-cigarette, I think I got, it was actually probably same year, but earlier. I tried it for like a month, and I lost it, and I just was like, okay, whatever, I don't care. But I had one of the cheap ass ones from 7-Eleven of all places. And it was awful because I smoked menthols at the time. So they didn't have menthol. So I only got the tobacco one, which tasted like butthole. And it was just not great, man. It just was bad experience. It made me wheeze.
Nice to know what butthole tastes like.
I was just going to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth, and that's not even a Queen song. I was just going to say to you, right, how do you know that what tastes like butthole?
Whoops, I slipped down. Hold tight.
Well, Moustache rides.
Now we're in trouble.
What was that, Nick? Don't knock it till you try it.
No.
It's like the difference between milk chocolate and dark chocolate.
Yeah.
One's taboo.
20 milligram Nick salts.
Well, yeah, when everyone first started, they feel like it was worse than they are now. Like, even if you started like a couple years ago, you're like, oh, how did I get by on the Smoke Alien 220 kit,
Because of its time, it was a good device.
Yeah, but then there's something
Absolutely.
better that came out, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like computers. Like you can buy a top spec computer now. Next week it'll be out of date. Same with vaping gear. The technology has moved so quick, or something bigger and better, or not necessarily
You've got
bigger.
to look
But
at the Smart Baby Beast when it first come out. Everybody
Right.
on top of the RX 200 and stuff like that. It was what people were vaping.
yeah, not me. Fuck the baby beast.
A lot of people didn't know about the shows like what you've got now, or reviewers or anything like that. They were just going into a bricks and mortar store.
Well, that was before lives too. Think about how lives changed everything.
Yeah.
Everybody's, I mean, the last year, how lives changed everything.
Well, yeah, we started on a network. We were on the UK network, Vape UK network, 3.5 years ago, nearly 4 years ago. And then obviously now that all finished and everybody's doing their own lives. There's so many lives out there.
Great. We have our own, it's almost like we could have our own TV guide.
You could.
Seriously. I mean, with the amount of reviewers reviewing and like shows that go on, it's crazy. I can't believe some people are here for every show.
You say it saved our culture, because with what's going on with China being closed right now, but also with what's gone on for the last 6 months, 8 months in vaping, with the slow push to death and us having to fight at every turn in America, at least, you know, and the waves and globally that have been caused because of that whole thing. And without live shows, you wouldn't have, I mean, you would have had reviews. I used to do that too. Like I used to watch reviews every day, you know, before I started being invested physically in making content, etc. I used to watch every day. But now with these lives, you have more diverse content. Like even here, where we didn't talk really about vaping most of the time, we talked about cannabis, these other pop culture stuff, but we're based on the community's vaping, and this is where the audience came from. But without this, we would have just had a review that came out. But without product to review, what would have happened? So it's almost like thank God for live.
That's why I love this show, though, because it's not always about vaping. It could be about food or cheese or whatever. You never know. Like it's always something different with SAVS. You never know what you're gonna get. But yeah, and also
Jay.
But not. Oh, we have to do. Yeah. Oh my God.
Food and cheese.
Right.
Hold on. Let me just get this point out real quick. I just want to say that, you know, with the atmosphere of YouTube itself too, because we've been to adpocalypses, channels being taken down, Vic, you know, with stuff like that, YouTube is crazy. It's got a mind of its own, and we have no one to talk to about it, you know, from YouTube. It's just kind of like if something happens and you don't have over like 50,000 subs or 100,000 subs, then you have no one to talk to about it. You're like, you got a strike for no apparent reason. It's like goes against their terms and standards. You're like,
that's like anything else, though. Think about what we've been doing for so long. YouTube's made it comfortable, and it was their job to do that. They did a great job at it because they were trying to become the mogul that they are, and they're a mogul. You know, they've set the trend, and they've standardized it basically. But think about anything. If you use a certain brand of toothbrush, and that's the only one that you use forever, and even if you stock up on it, at some point they put that and they discontinue it or they change it, and you can't get the one that you liked anymore, you're fucking shit out of luck. So here's the deal. You guys that are focused, your brand is YouTube and YouTube is your brand, you're screwed. You're not multifaceted, you're not multidimensional. So your brand is only relying on one toothbrush. And if that toothbrush changes, you're fucked. The toothbrush is changing, you're fucked. So if you don't put yourself in other places, then you don't exist. So your brand needs to be you, not YouTube. So if you only exist on YouTube, then you're not going to exist.
I would have
it's
thought
too
that
late
YouTube
for that, but
would have actually created one for Europe, or had different rules. Obviously, they're from California, aren't they, YouTube? I would have thought that they would have done, I'll tell you what, because obviously over here and in the EU, things aren't as tight as what it is over in the US. So they could have made a little more of a model where they could have had the rules a little bit different for us over here. Doesn't need to be so tight over here. Obviously, You've got a lot of trouble because of the monetary and bits and bobs, but they should have made it so that the UK reviewers and people, we haven't got a problem over here.
Yeah, ours is systemic. That's why, you know, this is a profound thing. I think maybe Nick had mentioned it, or we were talking about it on the stew, but about how primetime television, we're the only people that allow drugs to be advertised.
Oh, they're
television.
amazing, them adverts. I've got IPTV, which is from the US. I love them. They'll tell you how wonderful the drug is that they're actually going to sell, and then they'll go, "Well, it may cause you cancer. It may cause
the last
this
half of the
drug's
show.
amazing. Go buy
Exactly.
it now, but go to your doctor because it may make your ass fall out. Your teeth are going to fall out. Your gums going to go bang." That's the type of stuff of advertising you need in your life.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
wait,
the
what was that
problem.
last one?
That it's a systemic problem. That right there it's like right in front of you. That's America in a nutshell right now. Is literally like, stop looking deeply because it's right under your fucking nose. You can smell the shit because literally, it's like the Matrix, it's like you were in you had like a VR headset on, they took it off. You're in the same room you've always been in, but there's shit all over the walls. You're like, no one ever told me there was shit all over the walls. I could smell it, but I couldn't see it. Right?
Well, must have been
It's
Nick.
there.
He was tasting it.
Do you think it's that whole thing of the American dream, this beautiful thing that they created, and all these people like blue chip people, like them wonderful wooden houses that you see on Parent thingy, which you all want. Nice, and there's no drugs, there's no nothing, there's no. And it's the American dream. You can be whatever you want, and they've clouded it so much, and then eventually it's come over and they've gone bang. We can actually just see that you're just pushing shit in our heads. It's right, isn't it? White picket fences, them wooden houses, them no crime, no nothing. Playing basketball with your dad.
The suburbs, man.
He's not sleeping with the next door neighbor or anything like that.
That dream's dead. It's been dead for a while, and they've been like literally trying to just smooth it over and keep that wallpaper on without it, like, but we're seeing it tear and bubble up, and like they're like, no, this dream is real. This is still the American dream. No, it isn't.
It's been replaced with, opioids and alcoholism, depression, anxiety, and mountains of debt.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So, Swaggins, $1 million question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite cheese?
Oh.
What's your favorite cheese?
Depends on the application, I'll be honest. But I'll say, generally speaking, my favorite cheese, we'll go with feta, because I'll put feta cheese on anything. Like honestly, like
cheese.
I'm disappointed. I thought it was going to be
not goat cheese in all of its form. Put feta. Swiss.
You thought it was going to be Swiss?
Squeeze cheese.
Squeeze?
I just trimmed my.
Oh, like Cheese Whiz? Ew.
Oh, I love Primula. Do you get Primula in US?
So, Swaggins, we literally ask every guest that we have on what's their favorite cheese.
We actually have an intro for it as well, but we haven't got it set up.
Yeah, hashtag Jay's fault.
I thought Jay was on the road, so I wasn't giving him any shit. But now that I know that he's still in the shed, I'm fucking.
No,
pissed.
He's not. No, he's under the stairs. I mean, in his apartment.
Harry Potter.
He wishes he were Harry Potter.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'll take that out.
OBS Streamsy. If only.
You guys have a show coming up soon, right? UK Vape Jam.
Cancelled.
Vape Expo.
Cancelled.
Expos.
Wait, Expo in May is cancelled?
No, Vape Jam has been cancelled in April.
I'm worried about May.
Did you get insurance?
What for?
I didn't get travel insurance.
What?
I should have. I didn't think about it.
How much was your ticket? Like $700?
Like 6-ish.
And you didn't get insurance.
I would phone them up now and get insurance added to it.
Yeah.
I think I can add it. It's through Orbit, so
you should do it immediately. Like on a ticket that much, like $200 still. Like,
no, actually, don't add it. You can just come over for the shits and giggles.
Yeah, but they've been like closing airports and shit.
Yeah.
Like it's been a little bit crazy over here too.
They've just shut Italy down, haven't they? 16 million people because of the coronavirus. They've made them all stay at home. Milan, loads of places. 16 million people have to stay at home.
That's crazy. I think it's way, way, way overblown though. Seriously.
You want to go and see the Asda down road, mate? I'm telling you now, there's about 4 fat ladies fighting over a bunch of toilet roll. What's happening there?
Like no one's wiped their ass before.
Coronavirus don't give you the shits either. Why does people want toilet rolls? What's
Well,
happening?
it's just like bread, eggs, and milk for a snowstorm around here.
Learn to do an handstand in the shower. Come on, kid.
Handstand in the shower.
You don't have to
But
do that. The
honestly-
shower head comes down.
But let me tell you, though-
three women fighting over some, and it wasn't even decent toilet paper. All the Andrex is still there. You know that stuff you wipe on puppies? That's still there. But they've got, all the budget toilet paper. You know that stuff that you could actually trace on when you were at school. That don't really
The one ply, yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's that type of toilet paper, and they're fighting over it.
dude,
Stop it.
vape rags. Come on.
Yeah, sorry,
Oh.
you've got a towel. You can rewash it. You'll be fine.
Terry's towels.
What about diapers? Just wear diapers. Oh wait, no.
Supply issues are expected.
So that's actually a good topic to talk about really quick for like,
What,
the
toilet
last couple of
paper?
minutes. Not toilet paper, you.
Well, you know he wants to talk about shit all the time.
No. We've been talking about shit this entire episode. Don't you know it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I was gonna say being a reviewer and not being able to get stuff from China is crazy. Like I've only gotten 2 packages since the whole coronavirus scare started.
Did you leave them for 14 days in quarantine before you opened them? No.
Probably.
I
No,
got this
probably,
in.
honestly. Swaggins, what did I say?
It's a vaporizer, man.
Oh my god.
It is a vaporizer.
Yeah.
Well, in any
The
case,
thing is, why have I just tried to cover it up on my own screen? It's like they can still see it, you fuck. Don't show it. Don't show it.
Listen,
whatever. Wash your face in cheese, Aiden.
we'll be all right. I know a guy.
God. We're lucky he hasn't busted out the really bad memes yet.
No.
Oh, there it is.
What kind of cheese do I like? Dick cheese.
Oh,
Oh my god.
You definitely look like my ex-wife now.
Fuck.
wow. All right. On that note,
That bum note.
I totally forgot to get toilet paper, so I'm gonna have to go out to the store and get some.
It's not
Well,
only
it's
that.
causing loads of trouble. I've only had a
hand
couple
gel.
of bits and had a bit from Vapor Esso, and I think a lot of it's going to come in from Europe.
Yeah, hand gel and pasta, rice. People fighting over it.
Why
Just
rice,
wash your
though?
hands and don't
Plastic.
cough on people.
Right, because if we go into lockdown, you can always make something with spaghetti or pasta, rice. Just add a few spices to it, bang.
Canned stuff.
Hand stuff. Yeah. And here's a tip for everyone. Cough into your shoulder and also wash your fucking hands.
Yeah. Don't shake hands with people. Give them an elbow. Give them
Yeah.
hey, what's up?
Where you've coughed.
Mandel, dap.
Yeah.
That is just the most stupidest thing ever, though. How many people are not washing their hands? And why are they having to get told about it? We learned that at school. Surely
Where
they
were
should
you
be
for the
washing their
bubonic
hands.
plague?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
That's
Bubonic
exactly
plague
what
was-
like killed
and the-
most of
and-
the
and the
population.
right amount of
Rats
time-
are not washing.
Well, no, the plague was totally different.
The right amount
This
of
is
time
the
to wash your
plague
hands
came from fleas off of rats.
is 20
Yeah.
seconds. You have to sing happy birthday twice.
Wow.
Twice.
How fast do you sing happy birthday?
Wet your hands, put the soap on them, scrub. Scrub like
Happy
Clive-
to you.
birthday to you.
Twice,
Then
Nick.
rinse them.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
make-
not
quick
washing. That's
rinse.
wanking. That, son. I'm not doing
Yeah,
that.
that's too long.
Happy birthday twice.
You think I got a wireless headset I can just be doing all my work shit with while I'm washing my hands for 50 minutes a day because 20
Well,
seconds every
15
time?
minutes.
Well, if you're
Under
indoors,
scalding
then
hot water.
I think that's a lot of problems as well. I think people are too clean nowadays. I used to eat mud and stuff like that.
I used to eat rocks and mulch. I have
Yeah,
Let your
pictures.
kids play in dirt. That's what the
Yeah.
I
whole.
used to drink water out of anybody's tap. You know, they had the outside tap. We'd be walking down the street and you'd be a bit dry. So you walk down Mrs. Coppersfield's, have a bit of a drink out of the tap, then off.
Mrs. Copperfield?
I don't know. She's not a real
Well,
person. I just made
We're literally just drinking spiders' eggs that were crawled up there, you know?
Dude. Yeah,
or a book somewhere, wasn't it, Mrs. Coppersfield?
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Mrs. Copperfield.
Sounds like a good book,
Hot
yeah.
2.
Yeah, it would do. It's a really good book, that. Turn to page 42 a minute. Some fat kid come down my...
Yeah, it comes with the cassette tape. It plays along. Remember those?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, shit.
It had
Turn
sound
to
effects
page
on it.
20 now.
Or in your case, turn to Green Book 4. Bob has a ball. Bob has a green ball.
Bob's green ball is bouncing.
Somebody so good for you, Aiden 2020. I love it. We need some memes, man. We need more memes in the meme group.
Memes.
It's been so stale lately. I
got
need to
memes,
get
bro.
Photoshop on this computer so I can
Here's a
make some
meme.
myself. Oh, Jesus.
I love that.
How
dare you?
dare you?
I should be at school right now. Well, just sod off then.
Yeah.
How
Go
dare
back over
you?
the pond.
How dare you? I've been alive for 12 years.
You've stole my childhood.
She was around your way not that long ago, right?
You stole my childhood. You should have met me Uncle Pete.
Oh,
Oh. But seriously, though,
God.
you're 65 and you've devoted your whole life to environmental science. How dare you? I've been around for 13 years, and my parents told me to say this.
Yeah. How much money has she made off of this?
Enough.
I don't know, but she gets flown or well, how does
Yeah.
she get around the world?
She flies.
Does she take her boat everywhere?
Nah, that's fuck.
She's definitely not fucking walking, is she?
Hey,
'Cause that was
dude.
the big deal. Like, oh, Greta Thunberg is taking her freaking solar boat across the ocean because she doesn't want to fly.
She needs to be fighting the government because they're the ones who killed the electric car.
Yeah.
Sinclair.
All right.
Can you remember that Sinclair one they had as well? Back in the 80s.
Remember George W. Bush wanted to research the hydrogen car?
Yeah, like from Fallout.
Well, the
This-
problem with that is the only
It was too dangerous,
Like-
wasn't it?
product of burning hydrogen or using hydrogen as fuel is water. So the roads would just constantly be soaking wet.
Mate,
Which
welcome
would
to
cause-
England.
Damage. Well, yeah.
No, you just change the roads. You turn them into like Jello, and Jello loves water, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you also just solve the world's hunger problem.
Yeah.
I wouldn't drink it. Just like I wouldn't drink off the tap from Mrs. Copperfield either nowadays.
But you
She's lovely.
taste shit.
Believe me.
Maybe I'd peek in the window, but just
Clean.
I used to do that as well, but her husband won't happy. Have you seen those? Talking about roads, I think they're absolutely fantastic. They're these little square panels, and they invented them where they're actually LEDs in them, and they've got like drainage, and they're also solar panels as well. So what you do is you put them obviously on the motorway, solar panel powers you, and also it takes it off by drainage down the side, so it recycles the water, and then it's got LEDs inside it. So instead of having road markings, it actually has its own road markings and tells you when to slow down. But the government wouldn't do it.
That seems like a really big risk, considering Y2K is just around the corner.
Y3K, it's coming up quick, man.
What's wrestling going to do with it?
Well, it sounds like Elon Musk has invented the shingle that's a solar panel. It looks like a normal shingle, but it can generate electricity. So why aren't we investing more into solar and wind powered things that are completely renewable? They will never stop. And it's way cleaner than any other source of power.
Because the government,
Likes to make their money off of
big oil,
a barrel of oil.
big tobacco, all the same thing, man. This is what we call the deep state. It's not hard to see it anymore because information's everywhere.
It's not brand new. It's been happening for years.
Correct. It's been happening for 2,000 years.
Yeah. You grease your palms, you're going to get what you want. And you've got to think, these people are exactly the same as us. They're only going to be in power for so long. They're only going to be able to make money for so long. Local government, councils here, the whole lot, everybody's getting the palms greased. And us, as the minnows, are the ones who pay for it.
And in my case, being a Jew, I answer to a higher power, God himself.
Yeah, but at least at Christmas, you have a nice little candle thing, though.
Yeah, but I also appropriated that holiday, so I celebrate Christmas.
Well, see, we were talking about this before. You know, on Blue Peter, they used to make them for Hanukkah. Is it Hanukkah?
Mm-hmm.
And they used to get like, you going back into the 80s, you used to get like metal coat hangers.
2 white coat hangers.
Yeah, didn't they? And then we had to cut it all and put them all in and then put your candles on. Now, back in the 80s, a lot of things weren't fireproof.
They made pop-up menorahs
on it.
I feel like things were extra flammable in the 80s. I mean, look
lead.
at people wearing what was that material that windbreakers were made out of?
Shell suit.
It's basically plastic.
The amount of kids that used to get burnt in shell suits.
Neoprene.
Oh man.
Even your settees.
Dude, look at what race car drivers used to wear on their faces. Asbestos. God rest in peace, Steve McQueen, you tyrant.
Hey,
rest in peace, Taylor and Hart.
They're still taking here in the UK. They're still taking asbestos out in a lot of places that we've been over the years.
Paint.
Yeah, they're putting like meters in my apartment still. Like I've been here for my 3rd year at this apartment. And they're still like, oh, the plumber's gonna come in and put in an asbestos reader. It's like, what? We're gonna put in a lead detoxifier. What?
Wait, why is there asbestos here?
Yeah.
Well, we used to have lead paint. It used to be on, where kids sleep. What are they called?
Victorian homes, man. I watched a documentary on the Victorian homes during the era.
Beds.
Like that was the most likely place you were gonna die.
Cots. That's what I'm thinking of. Cots.
Cots.
They used to paint them with lead paint, and they used to like chew it.
Ugh.
What?
Well, kids, that's what they do, don't they? They chew on the side, and it used to be lead paint they used to put on it.
That's weird.
Well, that's what kids do.
Yeah, what does lead do to you again? Oh yeah, it makes you go fucking crazy.
Makes you sink to the bottom of the pool as well.
Yeah, it does.
And not for the loose change either.
Did you do that at school as well? You know, when you were at school, did you have to wear your pajamas one day and then jump in the pool and go and
fetch the brick?
Yeah.
Now that was basically that was at the YMCA. You would, if you were in like a swimming class, you would do like a safety training.
And you had to like tread water for 3 hours to earn your silver badge.
Where did you grow up, during the Cold War or something?
Yeah, we were Soviets.
Oh shit.
But the thing about it, what's really strange is, why did you have to dress up as a builder, an Indian, and everything just to dive in the pool? I just put my pajamas on. You know what I mean?
You got it wrong, bro. That was a song. All right, nothing to do with the YMCA.
In the Navy.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we used to jump down and get a rubber brick from bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
So that takes you back to education. When am I ever going to need to do that?
Yeah.
You had the experience.
Just in case you drop a kilo of something that you shouldn't have, and
Well, in our case, we didn't have like what we have now with internet technology. When we were that young and we were doing all this shit, this was just stuff where they were like, let's give them diverse experiences in case they're down fishing in the river and they fall in and they need to get out because we're in a small hick town between 2 rivers, whatever. I don't know. But basically, nowadays, the reason why things haven't changed is because of No Child Left Behind here in the States. And you guys are following our model, which sucks because this model has been broken for 20 years. But we have this model where we evaluate our teachers and our school performance based on student test taking. And so now teachers aren't able to teach what's relevant, what's changing. They have to teach to these fucking tests. That's the problem. And the model's not going to get better. It's going to stay broken until they change.
Tell you what's got even worse over is, if your children have a day off school, they now turn into the Gestapo. So you have one child off. If they're poorly, they're poorly. If not, I'm going to send my child. But if my child's poorly, they're going to stay at home.
Oh, mate, so they fucking fine you.
Phone in the morning, then they ring you, then they send somebody around your house
to check,
and then they send you another email. And then after like 3 days, they say, she's not going to come in. We'll come and pick her up. And it's like, whoa, hold on a minute. This is like stalking.
I watched a documentary on your school systems, and that's why. Like,
and if you don't take them in with an if it's unauthorized, you get a fine.
Like Educating Sussex or Educating Manchester. You guys remember those shows that were on BBC or were on your? I watched those recently because my last job I was very bored. in between projects I was doing. So I'd watch shit and I was intrigued by it because I was in education. So I watched this stuff and I saw that, but I saw that for more like, I didn't see the modeling close to ours. I saw more like, all right, well, you have your secondary, your post-secondary, whatever, second years, 11th years, all that stuff, those words that you use that we don't use. But you had kids that were, in danger of failing or not getting through. And that's the thing. You have people whose jobs depend on matriculation. And so if you don't have kids passing these tests, it's on them. And that's why you have that person calling you all the time and coming to your house, because if that kid doesn't pass, they are going to get reamed out by, their boss.
Do you know, you're just talking about educating. Did you watch the Educating Leeds, I think it was?
I watched all of them, man.
Did you watch the one where it was an Asian lad who had the stutter and his teacher eventually he wanted to make him be able to speak in front of people, and he ended up putting earphones in where he had music playing so he could actually talk straight. Honestly, I cried my eyes out on that. He was such a lovely lad as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get to see into the lives of not only the workers and the pressures they go under. So now I can tell you I can diagnose it. Like I know exactly why these people. I know the process too. I know why they're coming to your house and they're being, insatiable, if you will. Like they're just being an annoyance, because to them these kids are a quota. These kids are a product they need to get to the finish line. And if they don't, the parents can't even stand in your way. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, but it's money as well. It's not just down to that. It's obviously the government get more money if the child's going into
it. To do with budgets and all that shit. And
yeah, fortunately, we sit in a place of where if I'm the parent, you don't own my child, I own my child. And if I feel that my child is poorly, then my child will stay at home.
I think it's been proven that the government and the kids.
Well, they pay you for them every year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, that's in America.
You're not allowed to discipline them how I was disciplined.
Well, you can't anymore. You'll get in trouble.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's a load of crap, that. And I think that's why...
Never done me any harm. It taught me fucking manners.
About how to live with other people.
And you wonder why you got tyrants running off doing whatever they're fucking doing these days.
And you wonder also why, the more beta kids are now becoming like weak and can't function in society because they have such bad anxieties and social, disorders.
And look at that too, because they're told that there's a status quo. This goes even further. Let's root this even further into this whole decade and a half that I think the last 15 years, let's be honest, where it started, and it's kind of, we're seeing the negative recourse of it, is this no losers mentality. Everybody fucking wins. You get a trophy for participating. Then they get into the working force. And this is the problem. This is why you have cancel culture, why you have woke society, because kids can't handle differing opinions because they're told everybody's supposed to be
a
winner.
The
same level.
And it's not like that in the real life. If you're fucking applying for a job and that person's better than you lose. Fuck,
Read the chat, Jay.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. You do lose in life quite a lot, and I think you lose more than you win.
They were not preparing kids during during the time when they need to be prepared to lose and how to cope with that.
Yeah,
they're being only told, "Oh, don't worry about losing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
until you're not our problem anymore. Then you're gonna have a fucking mental breakdown and shoot up a school."
Here, get some hand sanitizer. Sanitize.
I think you're totally right, and I think the biggest thing that you could do is learn to lose. I hate losing at anything.
But you learn to deal with it.
You've got to be able to lose.
Losing helps you to realize what your mistakes were and then be faced with those mistakes because you lost. So you were faced with them, whether it's like a chip on your shoulder, or whether it's like you didn't try hard enough or you didn't read and study hard enough. You're learning this. And if you're absolutely thick and you can't learn these lessons, then you wind up, eating poison and dying. This is how survival of the fittest happens now, right? But if nobody loses, then you can't even have that baseline of survival of the fittest. You have so many Karens everywhere. You have Nancy Pelosi, you have Elizabeth Warren. I mean, these schmucks, get out of here.
So, okay, on a more basic level than that, Swaggins, in America, we have the standardized testing. And like you said, No Child Left Behind, standardized testing, MCAS, that kind of thing.
Yeah. All
we're doing in school nowadays is preparing for those tests.
Yep.
And like a perfect example is like one of my friends found a workaround in the system. We had the accelerated reader program where you read a book and you go on the computer and you you take a test. Well, he answered C for every single question,
Bow down the center.
every test he ever took. And at the end of the year, he got an award for it because he just would go down, click the next book, C, 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 click the next book, C, 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 click the next one, and just do that for every book. And at the end of the year, he had
I did
like
that on the
highest
SATs,
score.
and all I got was not able almost to get into college.
What did you say, Aiden? Was it Spanish?
Spanish?
Sí, 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 yes, señor.
More lemon pledge. More lemon pledge.
You get my point. And now we're stuck with very like separated norms. We have like the people that are smart, they want to go to college, they excel, but then you have like this like middle group and like these underlings, if you will, that just can't function in society anymore, and they're weak and they can't
No, and they go to
stand,
college
That's
and
a-
they get
go
triggered in
insane.
college.
Oh, he froze.
And then you get these people as well. You know, like the kids. They
Meme
proper
that.
kick
Someone
off.
screenshot that and meme it.
Yeah. I'm inside the mind. It's perky in the brain.
But that brings
And
me to
one
another
big
thing.
spicy meatball.
So you know when we're at the kids like fucking like sports days and that, like they don't like the kids to like come on, run, do what.
Yeah,
Oh no,
being
it's,
competitive
it's
is
not
toxic.
competi- no,
toxic.
it's
That's
not
toxic
competitive.
masculinity, is what that is.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Apparently, Nick, the balls were this big.
I was on a rant. I was on a rant there for a minute. Anyways,
lost you.
I do have to leave anyways because I have to go to family game night. So I think we should wrap it up here before we get too crazy.
Okay.
What say you,
Wrap her up.
gentlemen? Oh, I have to do it.
Well, you stopped the whole conversation.
Well, we're getting way off on a tangent. We can
Fair
go
enough.
on to that next week if we want, but yeah, it's time to call it here, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a blast and a pleasure.
And we'll stop
Swaggins.
streaming. No, I'm joking. Go on.
You're a dick. Swaggins, thank you for being here, man. You
Thank
fit
you for having
in
me.
perfectly. So anytime you want to jump on after the High End Vape Forum, you're more than welcome to.
Cheers.
But yeah, that's me. Anyone want to say goodbye? I'm sure Aiden does.
What do you mean sure Aiden does?
I
Big
don't
thanks
know,
to everybody in chat. You're a bunch of stars. Thank you very much. I have got a new channel, ladies and gentlemen. Please go over. I'm going to stick it into chat. It's my new channel. Please go over there and subscribe. It's Urban LBV. There's going to be loads of different stuff than there is on my review channel. It's going to be a giggle. So please go over there and show some support and just give us a little bit of a sub and ring that notification bell. Big thanks to everybody. Also, Zach, mate, you're an absolute star, brother. You've made me giggle all night. Thank you very much for coming on, and please come on again.
Cheers. Thanks.
Big love to everybody, and we'll catch you next week.
You might
Hopefully
want
back with Mobro and also our wonderful Mike Mix.
you might want to put the link back in. You deleted it.
Dick.
No, he
Jay's
didn't.
on the SAVS profile and he deleted it. Swaggins, do you have anything anyone you want to shout out? Any promos?
Yeah, these guys right here. If you're not following them, you already are. I follow them. I love Aiden's awesome. I love Jay. Nick's all right. Nick and I do a show every Friday night on Stan's channel, Vape Stew. Come check us out. I'd love to see you guys over there. More Brits, more British humor in the chat.
It's 3
please.
a.m.
Thank
over
you.
there, but actually, it would be what?
It is
2
really
a.m.?
late, but it's Saturday night, Friday night. Come on,
Yeah, it's really late over there, but
stay
yeah,
up late.
it'll be
Oh,
fun.
We'll have you on. Shit, I want to have all you guys on.
Mate, I watch it and I say hello to Nick every week. He never even shouts me out.
What? Well, I've been there, man. I've been there.
You just need to get
Don't
the
put me in
Zoom
charge
room
of
key.
shout-outs.
Get
All
the
right,
Zoom
Jay,
room
take
and
us
just
out.
jump in. That's what I tend to do.
He's panicking now. You've told him.
Guys, thank you very much, everyone in chat, and to the moderators, thank you very much. Obviously, this is nothing without you guys. Swaggins, it's been an honor, brother, as always. Nick, Aiden, yeah, it's cool. No, but yeah, guys, thank you very much. It's been awesome, and we'll see you the same time-ish next week.
I'm gonna change the thumbnail or the profile picture to say like 8-ish.
Yeah. But yeah, peace out. Take it easy.
Kushti mush. Hit
Just
the button,
that
Jay.
that you don't need. Acapulco Gold is some badass weed.
Piss flaps.